Good evening mga kapuso! Nagbabalik na naman po ang Just In. We are on our third episode sa third season. Ito ang ating weekly kumustahan at kwentuhan kasama ang ating mga paboritong mga celebrities na medyo malayo-layo na. Alam mo itong season 3, napansin ko yung mga guests namin talagang nasa kabilang dako ng mundo. Yung una kong episode, si Cindy Corleto nasa Vienna, Austria. Si Bonnie Paras naman yung in-interview ni Vaness, nasa California, USA. Ito ngayon, isang dako naman kaya ng dutong guest natin. Hindi ko na patatagalin, guys. Alam niyo, nakatrabaho ko to dati. Para sa akin, isa siya sa pinakamagandang mukha ng ating industriya. Sayang, hindi na siya nagtatrabaho dito sa Pilipinas. But live from San Francisco, Miss Beth Tamayo.
Nak naman.
Nice.
Thank you. Ang saya naman ng intro.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. Considering, siyempre may pandemic, may mga lockdown pa rin. Okay naman, family's good. Ikaw, kumusta ka?
Same. Ganun din. I'm okay. I'm great. We've been working from home since March of last year. Can you imagine? Parang mag-iisang taon na working from home. But other than that, I guess there's still a lot of things to be grateful for, diba?
Yeah. Anong rules dyan sa San Francisco? Mahigpit ba dyan? Or kumusta ang ang pandemic dyan?
So here's the state of California, all of California, right? So kasi San Francisco is still part of California.
Okay.
We are shelter in place. They call it shelter in place. You stay at home. Hindi siya yung lockdown na hindi ka talaga pwedeng lumabas. Although we have a curfew at 10 p.m. So no one's allowed to go out at 10 p.m. Okay. And people who are only doing essential work, sila lang yung pwedeng lumabas. Ako, for my part, ang parang contribution ko na lang din, kung hindi ko talaga kailangan lumabas, like to buy groceries or something, ang grocery ko once a week na lang. Parang every Sunday. So isang big haul, I go to the grocery once a week, and then wala nang unnecessary na labas or something. So it's not a very strict lockdown katulad ng ginawa sa Pilipinas, 'di ba, na how many weeks or something or even months. Pero dito hindi. It was just like they call it shelter in place. So yung mga essentials lang yung pwedeng lumabas. Hindi ka naman tipong huhulihin kung sakaling nasa labas ka buying grocery, Yeah.
Okay. Pero nami-miss mo na yung paglabas-labas na regular, syempre.
Yeah, I guess yung human interaction lang na makita mo yung ibang coworkers mo. Okay, I mean, mga kaibigan ko, may running family here. So, ganun lang, nakakamiss lang din syempre. You always see each other on Zoom sa trabaho, di ba? At least I have about 3 Zooms per week with my team. So, minsan, can you imagine yung iba pa siguro na mas higher level sa amin? They have about 10 Zooms in one day. Alam mo yung Zoom fatigue, totoo talaga yan sa,
true.
In the corporate world or anywhere, siguro na lahat ng tao nag-Zoom. So, yeah. Yun lang yung nakakamiss. Siguro yung human interaction lang din. And to see your family, yung may akap na nakasama. Diba?
May vaccine na ba dyan?
So they've already rolled it out. Nag-start sila probably, I think 3 weeks ago. Pero syempre inuuna muna yung mga healthcare workers dito, everyone who works in the hospital, and then elderly, anybody 65 and above. So sila muna yung, every day I check kung kailan kami pwede. Pero I guess because wala namang kaming symptoms, wala namang problema sa amin, or like we're healthy and not, So, hindi kami yung nasa immediate na listahan to
Okay.
get the vaccine. Yeah.
Pero
Hopefully
you're
soon.
considering to take it, yes.
Yeah. I think it'll make me feel better or kind of yung
More
comfortable
secure,
lang.
no?
Yung,
Yeah.
oo, yung comfort level lang medyo tataas ng slide. Diba?
Tama naman. Anyway,
Mm.
syempre alam ko matagal ka nang hindi nag-showbiz, katrabaho, namimiss ka na rin ng mga kapuso natin. So may mga ilan akong photos na nanakaw
Naku.
sa baul. Nanakaw sa baul, oh. Ipapakita
Oh
ko.
my God.
Throwback to syempre
Mhm.
ngayong pandemic ang hirap ng present and bad trip tingnan yun eh. So throwback tayo.
Okay.
Ikwento mo sa akin yung mga mga experiences mo din sa mga photos. Okay?
Sige.
Sige. First, group of photos. Showbiz career. How old were you nung nag-start ka saan? Or anong taon nagsimula ka sa showbiz?
I think show business mga 13, exactly 13 years old. Kasi prior to that, I was doing commercials. May mga commercial pa akong ginagawa. So pumasok ako sa That's Entertainment noon sa Channel 7 when I was 13. So ang tagal na rin. Ayan ito mo, naka-green ako na shirt. Kamusta naman with Harleen Bautista. Kasama si Mayor Isko Moreno.
Si Isko itong nasa harap, ano?
Yes, si Mayor yan. Diba? And then Melissa Gibbs. Si
Tapos
Barney.
nagtabing ilog ka.
Tapos nagtabing ilog ako. Kamusta
Natatandaan mo pa role mo sa tabing ilog?
I think, di ba parang parang as usual kay John Lloyd noon, parang girlfriend or panggulo sa love story nila ni Kay at that time.
Actually, nakalimutan ko na nga eh.
Tapos parang na-aksidente yata ako supposedly or something. And then bumalik ako, nagpanggap akong kay Bash, kaya maiksi ang buhok ko.
Oo, di ba? Yun na nga eh. Nagkunwari kang tomboy, no?
Nagkunwari akong tomboy. And then, ayan, medyo, yung picture ko napaka-iksi ng buhok ko. Kamusta? Very manly,
Ang huli mong, sa showbiz, GMA or sa kabila? Before you left?
Feeling ko sa GMA. Kasi, at that time,
yung Luna Mystica is your last show?
Yeah, I think so. Luna Mystica yata yung huling show ko. Correct. Kasi si Tita Annabel Rama was the one who was handling me before I left. Kumbaga, after Tita Angge, I got her. So most of my guestings, TV shows at that time was with GMA. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Ano tayo? Second photo.
Naku.
Hindi, ito. Friendship to. Ayan. So,
yes.
Sa showbiz or in general ba si Ate Juday talaga yung mo?
I think
good friend.
Pareho naman kami. We always say na sa show business, mabibilang mo lang sa kamay namin, yung talagang masasabi mo, kaibigan mo. It's really hard to find yung best buddy mo sa showbiz at that time, di ba? Ang hirap kasi busy kayo, pareho kayong busy or whatever, and then andyan yung issue ng plastikan, di ba? You're just being nice, ganito, or whatever. But with Juday, I think, ang una kong kaibigan kasi, yung kapatid niya, si Kuya Jeffrey. Because of that entertainment also. Pag lumalabas kami na nila, Kuya Jeff, we wanted to ask her to go out, pero busy siya, may Mara Clara, may ganito, alam mo yung, she was already busy then. Pero nag-start lang ako, naging close sa kanya nung nag-semi-regular ako sa Esperanza, sa TV show din niya sa kabila. Sa soap niya. We've been friends since then. Parang we got to know each other. Pareho naman kami ng ugali din. A lot of my friends or even her friends, pag first time kaming nakilala or first time ako nakilala, sasabihin nila, alam mo, pareho kayong magsalita ni Juday. Yung tono namin, or
correct.
Kapag nagbitaw siguro ng punchline or whatever or something, pareho kayong magsalita. So, kaya nga tawagan namin kabetsi. Para kaming kabet. Ako rin kasi ang third wheel nila ni Ryan. Kaya ang niloloko rin niya kasi si Ryan. Kasi parang daw isang pinaghulmahan lang yung mukha namin ni Ryan. Kasi magkamukha kami ni Ryan. Kaya...
Pero buti na-maintain nyo yung friendship, ano? I mean, all these years, buti na-maintain nyo siya.
Actually, kahapon kausap ko lang din siya. Magka-Viber kami kagabi, magka-video call kami kahapon sa aming mga bagets. That's the good thing about us. Siguro sabi nga namin, distansya lang yung nabago. Pero yung
Mhm.
friendship, pareho pa din. And every time we'd see each other, let's say nagbakasyon siya dito sa Amerika, I always make it a point na I'll take time off. Kasi bibigyan naman niya ako ng malaking heads up eh. Sabihin niya na, Kabet, I'll be in Vegas because they have a house in Vegas
Mhm.
for 3 weeks. Sabi ko, sige, mag-off ako. Yung buong 2 linggo ko, minsan, sinasabi ko sa kanya kasi like, give me a heads up beforehand, like a long one. Yun, 2 weeks na bakasyon, i-suspend ko with her and her
With them.
family kasi, di ba, minsan once a year lang din naman sila nagbabakasyon or whatever. Sabi niya, pupunta kami ng New Zealand. Dahil sumunod ako ng New Zealand. From
Talaga?
from New York. Nagpunta
So,
ako ng
so
New
kahit
Zealand, ang
saan, so kahit
layo.
saan hindi lang kayo dyan nagkikita. Kahit saan, kung saan siya
Mm.
pumunta. Okay. Saya naman
Exactly.
nun.
So, alam mo yun, and kapag nagkita kami, it's like wala kaming masyadong na-miss na chika o, sa buhay namin. Like, we can always pick up from where we left off, which is
Maganda
actually
nga
a good thing.
kasi nga may mga Viber na. I mean, at kahit papaano, kumbaga kung may latest man na chika, pwede naman pag-usapan agad. Kaya hindi na ganun kahirap ang communication ngayon eh.
Exactly. I mean, thank you talaga sa technology.
Yeah.
Kasi it's easier for us to communicate with people, with friends and family. So,
Yeah.
bongga yan.
Tama naman. Tama naman. Number 3, picture tayo.
Ay!
So ito, nasa Amerika. Your
Nasa Amerika na.
USA
Oo.
life. So, if I
Yeah.
may ask, ba't ka umalis ng Pilipinas?
Well, I think it's not naman, hindi naman natin i-deny yan. It's been in the news or whatever. My ex-husband before had a problem, had a financial problem. So parang, ang dami ng tao naghahabol sa kanya. And parang our lives were actually in danger na. So we had to leave.
Okay.
We had to leave in 2009. And I moved, tapos wala lang. Siguro, nagustuhan ko na din. Well, hindi ko siguro I didn't like the fact na napalayo ako sa pamilya ko. But it's a humbling experience actually moving to America and just having a normal life. Alam mo yun, yung wala kang katulong, wala kang driver, ikaw lahat, ikaw naglalaba, ikaw, alam mo yun, and then you have to look for another job. Kasi before naman sa Pilipinas, like what I've said, I've started sa show business ng 13 years old. I didn't know any other job aside from being an actress. Alam mo yun? So, ang hirap magsimula from nowhere. And then, buti na lang kamo, parang pinilit ko matapos yung college degree ko. I had a bachelor's degree, so that's one thing. Kahit saan ka magpunta, it will help you in a way in looking for a job. Although hindi rin naman madali. So, ang buhay Amerika, hindi talaga madali. My first job in New York, I was a babysitter for a Colombian family. Yes.
Talaga?
So dalawang bagets, si Ariana at saka si Anaya. I will never ever forget their names. She was 7 years old, one 7-year-old and 2-year-old. So, alam mo yun? So, kasi at that time, 2009, nandun pa yung tail end ng recession from 2008. So, Wall Street was down. Everything was just like, yung economy ng Amerika, hindi pa masyadong okay. So even if you're street smart or you're a fast learner, ang hirap maghanap ng
Mahirap
trabaho.
pa rin.
Yeah. And then, nag-double job ako. I worked as a cashier sa Victoria's Secret store. So, kakahira ako sa New York. Yeah.
Talaga?
Ang totoong hustle, the hustle of like living on your own and trying to make money. Ang hirap kaya. And then, since then, I applied for a job, like an office job. I first got my job sa Wall Street. So I was like an office manager. So kind of like an assistant, which actually is my thing. I guess siguro dahil tayo sa Pilipinas, meron tayong personal assistant or whatever. Alam natin how they work for us before.
Correct.
So alam mo yung needs ng ibang tao din. So ikaw, because you had one before,
alam mo
kung
na.
ano yung kailangan. Oo, alam mo na. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, kaya ko to. Ano ba to? Exactly. Ano ba yan? Calendar work and all these things, travel and whatnot. So, alam mo yun, I started in Wall Street and then I left that job. Basta pataas, hindi naman pataas, but pa-better lang ng pa-better yung job na pinupuntahan mo. So then I moved to another company called GIC, which is a government of Singapore investment company.
Okay.
So doon ako nagtrabaho for 6 years. Sila yung nag-move sa akin dito sa San Francisco because my team
Okay.
in New York is moving. So sabi ng boss ko, do you wanna move? Sabi ko, well, kung kayo ba ang mag-handle ng moving kasi mahal mag-move. So if you guys, if you guys are taking care of my moving expenses, bakit hindi? So they did it and I moved here in San Francisco and I've been here since 2016. So yeah.
Then you have the same work.
Yeah, I have the same work. Well, I moved pala. Sorry, I mean, same job. I'm an executive assistant, but I moved to a different company. So it's called now Sequoia Capital. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happy naman
Mahirap
ako.
Pero yeah. Kumbaga siyempre, dinaanan mo yun, yung hirap na yun. Pero now you're okay. Kumbaga,
Yeah. I'm much, much better. I used to, and nag-restaurant pa pala ako noon, nag-waiter ako sa New York. I was a server and a maitre d'. Yung maitre d' is like parang receptionist or I'm the one sitting you o ako mag-arrange ng mga table or whatever. So I've been in the hospitality business like restaurant work also. So nag-server ako. I was serving in New York. So magtatrabaho ako from 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock sa office. And then tatakbo ako sa second job ko because I have a 6 o'clock in the evening up to closing, which is sometimes 12 midnight sa restaurant.
grabe. Gano'ng katagal mo ginawa yung dalawang trabaho? Years?
Yeah, years. Because kasi, I guess, mahirap pag ikaw lang mag-isa. And New York is an expensive city. I chose to live alone, which is harder because,
Mahal.
lahat nga ng gastos ikaw. Mahal. And I moved from one expensive city to another expensive city, which is San Francisco. Mahal din dito.
Buti sa tagal mo sa Amerika, hindi ka naging slang, ano? Napansin ko eh. Okay pa rin yung Tagalog. Yung English. Hindi ko siya, hindi ka gano'n.
No, I don't try to or kasi pareho tayo ng ganyan eh. Merong iba dyan na parang, di ba, yung parang mga 2 months pa lang nandito sa Amerika, kumakas lang, ganun na lang.
Nagiging British eh. Actually, nagiging British yung accent, hindi Americans lang eh.
Parang, what? Exactly. But, it's, siguro dahil, well, my fiance is pure white, puti talaga. So, minsan meron akong I have to like talk to him in a certain way na maiintindihan talaga. So, tutuwangin mo ng slide. Diba?
Okay. Speaking of fiancé, ito yung photo 4 natin. Yan.
Yes! Yay!
So,
yeah, this is my fiancé. That's Adam. Mr. Adam Hutchinson. We got Hutchinson. Diba?
Parang humatching ka. Hutchinson?
Hutchinson. Yes.
Okay. Siya? He lives there in San Francisco?
Yep. I met him here in San Francisco. He was born in Iowa, Midwest mga Midwest peeps. Then he moved here in California, probably like 10 years ago or something. And then I met him here. He works for Google, and he's good. He's great. We're engaged. Kita mo naman sa picture na. That's our dog Lily. That's our Lily Potpot.
Lahat ng picture kasama siya halos.
Oo, alam mo naman yan ang aming little girl. Si Lily. We run together. We try to run together. I think when we first met, that was our thing. Like, we'll train together. We'll join races together. And then, after a while, he just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Pagod na ako or something. I'm so tired.
Ikaw nagtuloy pa.
Yeah, ako yung na-addict sa pagtakbo. Siya na lang yung parang, I'll just support you on the sidelines. Cheering squad. Cheering squad.
Pero di ba ang Google sa ibang lugar? So siya dyan?
No, so Google has tons of offices.
Oh,
okay. Sobrang dami. So they have one here in San Francisco. They have, what do you call that? Basta may tawag sila ron. It's in Mountain View. So, what's that? Campus. So sabi ko anong tawag sa niya? Google Campus. Ang tawag doon. Parang Facebook campus din. Kasi parang siyang campus talaga, pakalaki nila. Parang siyang amusement park. So they have like satellite offices. Pero the big one, the campus is in Mountain View. Which is still, I mean, it's not that far. Parang mga 30 minutes, 20 minutes drive.
Okay. Lapit lang.
Yeah.
So, yung since fiancé mo na siya, kailan niyo plano if I may ask, kung may plano ba kayo soon? O
Yeah. We're actually looking at next month. Hindi, sorry, not next
Okay.
month. Para mga 2 months from now. Paano lang, we'll do like a city hall wedding. Alam mo naman, I mean, I've been there, done that, doing the big wedding. And at saka, with this pandemic, parang hindi naman
advisable
fair.
pa. Correct,
Oo,
correct.
diba?
Correct.
And I guess it's just a matter of us getting married, and then we'll have our friends and family just like watch it or like view it on Zoom. Okay na
Yeah.
kami dun.
Oh,
Okay,
tama.
carry na yon. Hindi na kayo
Practical din,
masyadong...
practical.
I know. It's very, very practical, and we're trying to, save money. Save
Tama
na lang yung
naman.
money.
So, sa Photo 5 tayo, ilang beses mo na itong sinabi.
Yay!
So, running. Paano ka
Yes.
na-addict sa running?
So in 2016, two of my good friends from New York, they ran New York Marathon. So New York is
Okay.
one of the largest marathons in the world. So sabi ko sa kanila, sige, magta-travel ako. So I flew to New York kasi nandito na ako noon eh. So nagpunta ako
Okay.
ng New York, tapos chineer ko sila. I was like seeing them and then seeing them cross the finish line. Naiyak ako for them kasi ibang klaseng accomplishment yung natapos nila yung 26.2 miles. It's 43 kilometers. It's not
Wow.
actually 42 point something, almost 43. So it's not a joke to actually finish a marathon. Tapos sabi ko sa kanila, active naman ako. Like before in Manila, I'd always play badminton. When I was in high school until college, I was part of a varsity team for volleyball. So active naman ako talaga na tao. Sabi ko, you know what? Kung kaya niyo yan, I'm sure I can do it also. So pagbalik ko dito sa San Francisco, nag-sign up ako sa shorter races, yung mga maliliit na race lang. 5K, 10K. Hindi nga ako nag-half marathon, natatakot pa ako mag-half marathon. Kasi sabi ko, 21K, parang medyo mahaba pa din yun.
Oo.
And then my friends, sabi nila, Beth, magsa-sign up kami sa Paris Marathon. Sabi ko, ay, ang sosyal, Paris. Sabi niya, alam mo, mag-sign up ka na din. Para pag tinanong ka ng mga tao kung anong first marathon, sabi mo, Paris. Sabi ko, wow, ang sosyal. Tsaka kasi may bakasyon na kasama. I'm actually more into the vacation part.
The bakasyon, no?
We always do runcation. We call it a runcation. So we do the race and then we'll do a vacation after. So you know what? Sige, I'll do that. So I did Paris Marathon. Wala masyadong training. I wasn't really training or whatever. Dude, akala ko hindi ko na siya matatapos kasi I've been running for like 6 hours. Run, walk na. Yung hindi ko na kaya. And then, tinatawagan ko na sa cellphone, parang, nasa mile 23 pa lang ako. May 3.2 miles pa. Hindi ko alam kung matatapos ko to. They were like, kaya mo yan, you can do it, blah, blah. So when I actually finished it, when I crossed the finish line, yung iyak ko was more of, thank you, Lord, natapos ko siya. But also, sabi ko, that's not an easy feat, It's not an easy thing to actually, to finish a marathon. Sabi ko, alam mo, kakagaling ko to. Sabi ko, ganun talaga. Kakagaling ko yan. So, simula nun, sinabi ko sa sarili ko, I will finish the 6 world major marathon. So, there's 6 world majors is London, New York, Berlin, Tokyo, Boston, and Chicago. So, in 2008, I ran 3 marathons. I ran London. Yeah, I ran London. That was the time when Ann Curtis actually ran London. Also, she was there. And then I ran Berlin. I think Charlene Gonzalez was there that year in 2018. And then I ran New York in 2018. And in 2019, I ran Boston. And then I ran Chicago in October. So 2020, Tokyo na lang ang kulang ko. So and I was so excited. Kasi sabi ko, isa na lang. Because I really wanted to finish it. Kasi gusto ko in like 2.5 years or less than 3 years, I'll be able to finish it. Tsaka kasi iba ang feeling if you see yung map ng, not map, but like the list of world major marathons, ang Philippines na pangalan, ganito lang kaikli. There's only like 26 people or whatever. So kahit na US citizen na ako, I wanted to place my name sa Philippines.
Nice.
Oo, kasi ilan lang kayo eh. There's really pag nilagay ko yung pangalan ko sa USA, ang tagal bago mo ako mahanap kasi
Hindi
napakadami
ka
nila.
makikita.
So, alam mo yun, baka mga after 2 days, baka pa makita yung pangalan ko. But the pandemic happened, so wala, we had to reschedule. I was really bummed. Alam mo yun, yung I was training for it. I was so ready. We were going to Thailand after also para magbakasyon with our friends. Yung lahat plakado na, tapos biglang
Mm-mm.
na-cancel because of the pandemic. Parang nung una pa nga sabi ko, parang hindi naman seryoso yung pandemic eh. Sabi ko
Oo.
parang okay naman yung Tokyo. And then Tokyo actually, tinuloy nila yung race, pero pang-elite lang. Ay, hindi naman kami elite.
Okay.
So natuloy
Okay.
yung race last year, pero it's only for the elite kasi parang Olympic trial siya. So, nag-defer lang ako for 2022. Kasi pwede kang mag-defer for this year. Yung slot ko, pwede mong kunin ngayong 2021. But looking at the situation from last year, sabi ko wala pang vaccine, wala pang, I mean, I don't think, sabi ko feeling ko makakancel din to eh. So ayoko na ulit ma-stress. Ipupush back ko na lang sa pinakamatagal, which is 2022. So I'm running Tokyo in 2022. That's
Then
it.
tapos na. Correct.
Tapos na yung 6 ko. But ang nakakatawa, yung mga barkada ko, after ng 6 World Majors, anong tatapusin natin? Sabi ko, yung ano naman, 7 continents, kasi may 7 continents eh.
Okay.
Yung asawa ni Donna Cruz, si Dr. Larrazabal is one of the, so it's 7 continents. Pero yun naman kasi, 7 continents in 7 days. So,
Dire-diretso?
Dire-diretso.
Bakit mo gagawin? Bakit mo gagawin?
Di ba, nakakasakit ng ulo. Sabi ko nga, we'll see. Baka naman sinasabi ko lang yan, pero baka hindi ko naman gagawin.
Pero yung 7 continents in 7 days, ano yun, ang pahinga mo? Aeroplano? O...
Aeroplano lang. So you
Ganun?
land, you run, after ng run mo, balik ka na ulit, pick up your stuff, aeroplano ka na ulit. So 7 days, 7 marathons. Marathons hindi half. Full marathons.
Ito yung ganung 42, 43 kila.
42. Yeah.
Every day? Grabe naman. But,
Every day.
Sige.
Well,
Kung kaya mo di gawin mo.
it's funny because I love journals. So, I mean, I'm here at my work desk. So I have like a lot of journals. So when we moved here to this house, meron akong parang mga memorabilia box or something. I've seen, meron akong isang journal doon. So parang may bucket list. And one of the list, dun sa isang list, ang sinulat ko, run a full marathon. Can you imagine?
Okay.
I wrote that before. I didn't even know. Sinulat ko pala siya dati. Hindi ko na
Nakalimutan mo?
Nakalimutan ko lang. So sabi ko, susulat ko na lang din somewhere na I'll do one triathlon somewhere, somehow, sometime. And we'll see. Mali mo naman magawa natin, di ba?
Galing.
Ironman ako.
Sana. Ako, ano ko yan, na sana magawa mo yung 7 continents na yan, pati yung triathlon mo.
Yes, thank you. Sana kayanin ng tuhod.
Thank you. Tapos na yung mga pictures.
Okay.
Feeling ko naman marami nang nalaman yung mga kapuso natin tungkol sa iyong showbiz life and your personal life. And I'm very happy that you're okay and you're happy, 'di ba?
Yes.
And healthy, 'di ba?
Exactly.
'Di ba?
Yes,
Pero ngayong pandemic kasi 'di ba, ngayong pandemic syempre medyo nagkagulo, huminto ang mundo, syempre hindi natin maiiwasan mag-isip. So itong next portion natin, ang pangalan ay Quarant Thoughts. I just want to ask you kung ano yung mga thoughts mo ngayon. Siyempre, matagal tayong nalagi sa bahay. I'm sure marami kang pag-aalinlangan sa future, ika nga, di ba? So, eto tanong ko. Your thoughts on leaving yung showbiz life, yung Limelight, do you regret it? Do you miss it?
I don't regret it. I do not. I guess in anything and everything, you shouldn't regret anything. Wala ka dapat, regret sa kahit na ano. Do I miss it? Paminsan-minsan. Kaya nga minsan kapag may lumalapit sa akin or some people would reach out and say, Miss Beth, pwede ka ba mag-guest sa ganito? I mean, like you guys, nakakatuwa na meron pa rin parang gusto ka namin kamustahin. We wanted to
Yeah.
parang feeling ko wala na namang pakialam ang tao sa akin since I left, and it's been like what 10, 11 years or something. So, but I'm still very grateful that people would still like follow me, my journey in
Yeah.
Instagram, like my running journey and whatnot. So I don't regret it, and happy naman ako. I guess katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, it's a humbling experience when I moved here. Marami kang na-appreciate ng mga maliliit na bagay.
Pero full time, like for example, may mag-aya sa'yo ng showbiz comeback.
It
No?
was siguro parang mga 2 years ago. Someone actually reached out to me, Beth, panahon ng comeback ngayon. We actually need actresses like you or whatever. Like before, si Ina Raimundo wasn't as active as an actress because she has family, and then after that, so she went back. Si Sunshine Cruz also, which is a good friend of mine. So now very active also. Kami kasi yung mga magkakaedad din eh. At saka
Yes.
probably like the same, we're like my peers basically. So parang sinasabi nila, we actually need someone like you or whatever. So ako naman parang sabi ko, I'll think about it. Pero after building a life here in America, ang hirap kasi magsimula ulit. Like if you go
Correct.
back home. I mean, I have a family, I have a house there. I can stay with my mom. And, pero sabi ko nga, you'll have to start from scratch again. And then ako yung buhay na binild ko din dito, parang I'll just leave it, na ganun-ganun na lang. Tapos, syempre, ang iniisip ko din minsan yung stability. Kasi di ba
Yeah.
pag, like, ang artista, alam naman natin yan, we know that. You can be like super busy for one whole year, and then next year, parang medyo
Wala.
tenga ka ng slight or whatever, di ba? So, and every day, there's a new face that gets discovered. Araw-araw may bagong mukha. Every 2 years, may bago na namang ginugroom na artista. So, it's very nakakatakot minsan. So, for me, parang nasanay na ako na I have a job from Monday to Friday. I log in on work, or I go to work from 8:30 until 5 o'clock. I know I'll get paid every 15th and the 30th of the month.
Yun na yun.
So parang that's it. What else can I ask for?
Tama.
And you have a great healthcare system here. We have insurance, or it's covered, by your company, by your employer. So it's the perks also of living here. And I guess yun nga it's a simpler life kahit na ikaw lahat, ikaw ang driver, ikaw ang whatever or something, but also you have control of your life as well.
Correct. Humbling talaga tong lockdown actually.
No,
Sa totoo lang.
Totoo.
Magbabago yung priorities mo. Isa pa, your thoughts on kasi healthy ka di ba? Ano ang thoughts mo sa mga taong hindi healthy during the pandemic? Gaano ka-importante na healthy ka during this time of COVID?
Actually, I always say this, it's not just about healthy in the sense na wala kang sakit, but also like psychologically, like it's too much. Like for me and Adam, I always like kong joke yun. Sabi ko, I mean, it's a good thing that we haven't killed each other kasi we live in the same house. I mean, we live in one house. And then there's just too much time together.
Yeah,
kasi hindi kami,
true.
It's so much time together with our dog also or something. And before we moved here in this house, we used to live in an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment. So alam mo, ang liit ng lugar nyo, magkikita talaga kayo, not unless sa banyo ka magtrabaho. Alam mo yun, yung sa banyo ka mag-computer. But so when we moved here, I was like, oh, it's a 2-bedroom house, that's fine. So I have my own spot, he has his own spot. I'll just wear my headphones on, or I'll just like, that's why I run. I always tell people, like, I go out, running clears my head. If I'm stressed out with work, kung sakasakali, parang, it's such a busy day for me. Alam mo yung hanggang bumbunan na yung emails sa akin, na hindi ko I'm swimming in emails. I'll just like, stay away from my work desk. I'll go for a quick run. I'll do a 5K, which is like 30 minutes for me or something. I'll just do like one loop dito sa amin. it just clears my head, and it also just like, makes you forget about other things. So
Yeah,
aside from just taking care of your health, like eating healthy, but also like yung sanity natin is importante.
correct, correct.
Do the things that actually makes you happy or just like relaxes you. Some people will go baking, that relaxes them, cooking, whatever it is na, alam mo yun, that will make you at least not think about the current situation. Do it.
Gawin.
Kasi
Tama, tama.
life is so freaking short.
Lastly, your thoughts on your retirement. Where do you want to retire? Philippines o dyan?
I mean, in all honesty, syempre mas maganda mag-retire sa Pilipinas. You're gonna live like a king over there. You
Mm.
know? Kumbaga kung ano man yung makuha mong retirement dito sa Amerika, with everything that you've worked for, pagdating mo sa Pilipinas, you can still, mahaba-haba pa yun. Mahaba
Correct.
ang PC nun. So, it'll be nice to actually retire there. Ma-enjoy mga beaches natin. Diba? It'll be nice to retire in the Philippines.
At least nasa isip mo pa rin siya na makabalik
Yeah,
dito.
of course.
Pero pag halimbawa nag-retire ka na, tapos mga gano'n, 60s ka na, mag-artista ka, pwede pa yun. Pwede pa yun.
Sige, pag meron pa rin nag-ask, go.
Bakit hindi?
Bakit hindi? Patulan na lang. Sige.
Thank you, Beth. Hindi na kita masyadong guguluhin. Maraming salamat. I mean,
No, thank you.
Thank you for everything na nakwento mo. Thank you, pinaunlakan mo kami. Kahit alam
It's
kong
so-
nasa kabilang dako ka.
Yes, no, it is refreshing to see you, in all fairness. Sa totoo lang, I haven't seen you in forever. So, it's so great to see you.
Thank you. Ikaw rin.
Thanks,
Hindi
Pao.
nagbago ang iyong mukha. Last message mo for our kapuso, mga nakikinig sa atin, mga nanonood.
Mga kapuso, thank you so much. And if you wanna follow me, or if you just wanna, kung wala lang, interesado lang kayo sa akin, I'm on Instagram, Beth Tamayo 21. And mag-iingat po kayo. Always wear a mask when you go out. Wash your hands whenever you can. Mag-alcohol or whatever. Keep your distance with people. And you got this. We got this.
Yep.
Matatapos din tong pandemya na to.
Thank you very much, mga kapuso. Miss Beth Tamayo, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mga kapuso, isa na namang maiksing kwentuhan pero masaya ang ating nasaksihan ngayon. Pero kung may mga gusto kayong panoorin, mga past season, yung last 2 seasons natin, you can go to the Facebook page or YouTube channel ng Artist Center. I-follow nyo rin ako sa aking Instagram, sa Facebook at saka sa YouTube. And syempre, ito ang inyong weekly kwentuhan habit. And sana magkita-kita ulit tayo next week dito lang sa Just In. Stay safe!
Wow.